Hi, today I'm gonna show you how to knit this Halloween spider cable hat. Let's get started. Okay, so please check my description box for all the details. I put all kinds of the link as well as written pattern. If you want to download the written pattern, please go to my website and download it. Today, I'm going to show you how to knit this beautiful spider cable hat. Before I start, I have to actually tell you how to pick a right color of yarn. As you can see, this is kind of blackish, kind of white and black. It's more like a dark gray, but I think this is black. I knit the, light color for myself, and my husband says I want one, but I want a black. But I told him if it's black, darker color, it's really hard to see the spider, the cable design. As you can see, my light blue, you can really see the spider, but the black one, it's really hard, right? So when you pick a yarn, be careful. Dark navy blue, stuff like that, it's really hard to see the spider. Now, let me talk about sizing. Both same size. For me, it's maybe a little bit too long, but you can fold the rib like that and you can still see the spider. And black one, my husband is quite big guy, 5'10", but he can actually wear this. So don't worry about it. If you want to add more cast, you can do it. All right. And sizing is a little tricky with this project because of the spider design. Spider design, you need to knit 51 rows. You can't stop in the middle, right? So when you knit the swatch, you must knit a swatch 4 by 4 at least. Okay, you have to count within 4-inch stitch count and row count to make sure you can finish this spider design. So in other words, if you want to knit for the kids, okay, you can adjust the cast on number to make it smaller. However, the length of the spider cannot change, which means you might have to change the yarn and needle. And in next clip, I'm gonna talk about the plan. One, desired length, which is about 10-inch. And you have to find out the decreasing length as well, because you have to subtract the decreasing and spider length to find out how many, the rows you can knit for the rib. You know what I'm saying? So let's move on to my math gauge template and talk about this, all right? Okay, so let's make a plan with my math gauge template. Okay, so here in red section, you have to input all your swatch information. Okay, if you're using centimeter, that's fine. Okay, here, my swatch was 4-inch by 4-inch. And my gauge was 20 stitch count within 4-inch and 28 rows within 4-inch. And let's find out the cast on number here. Okay, find out the stitch count from the length. My desire, the head measurement, is 20 inches. My actual head measurement was 22. Subtract 2 inches because I don't want to wear loose hat. And again, my husband can't wear my size. So you don't really have to worry about it. But if you want to make it bigger, that's fine too. Only you have to watch out for the kids, you know, because okay, length is smaller, that's fine, no worry. But again, the spider design, you need to knit 51 rows. Okay, so make it smaller but quite long, hat that doesn't look too good. Anyway, so 20-inch. And this is yellow section. Let's go yellow section 100. Good. The spider design needs 29 stitch count. So if it's more than 29, completely fine. And has to be multiple of 2. So 100 is multiple of 2. So it's good. I think my cast on number is 100. Now, let's talk about the length. All right. So again, you have to find out the length for the spider section, which is 51 rows, right? So right here, the bottom part, find out the length from the row count. Okay. So here, 51 rows to finish the spider. So blue section, let's go down. 7.2. If I knit 51 rows, the length from the bottom to top is 7.2. Okay, you got to remember that. And the decreasing on top of the spider design, you have to make a crown, which is, decreasing, right? And that's got to be 10 to 12 rows. So I put 10 here. And let's go down. So if I knit 10 rows for decreasing, it's going to be 1.4. Okay? You got to remember that. And let's go down right here. I already did the math. My desired length from the bottom to top is about 10 inch, 9.5 to 10 inch, minus 7.2 inch, which is 51 rows spider section. And on top of it, 10 rows of the decreasing, 1.4 inch. 10 minus 7.2 minus 1.4 is 1.4, okay, inches. This is your rib length, okay? So I am going to knit maybe 1.5 inch for the rib. That's how you make a plan, okay? And now you really have to think, you might want to use smaller, thinner yarn and smaller size of the needle. It's really up to you. And if you don't understand and you don't know what to do, please leave the comment in my, the comment section. I will try to help you. Okay, so let's move on to actual knitting. All right. Okay, so this is the one I used. All right. Cast on. I made 100 or your size multiple of 2 and more than 29 stitch count will be no problem. All right. And I'm using a smaller needle, which is 3mm needle. You can actually use smaller or bigger. It's really up to you. And after the cast, I'm using the magic loop technique because I don't have shorter, perfect size of the cable. If you do, you don't really use the magic loop technique and start making rib. You need to connect both ends and knitting in round, and the rib should be repeat of knit 1 and purl 1 until your desired length, which is 1.5 inches for me, according to the math. All right? Well, 100 stitch count is actually multiple of 4. So if you want, you can do repeat of knit 2 and purl 2. It's really up to you. And after the rib, okay, after the rib, you change the needle. Don't forget about that. And now I'm going to use 4 millimeter. Okay. Now I gotta put the marker on. From the begin, I took 29. That's for the spider design, right? So I put the pink marker. Also, in the center of the spider, 5 stitches, I put the orange marker. That's only for counting purpose, okay? For a little while. It's easier because, that 5 stitches section in the center, that's going to be spider's body, kicks in. So it's easier. You will understand what I'm talking about, okay? So let's start. Rule number 1, all purl, but all purl means only for the spider section, 29 stitches. Rest of them, all knit. So my written pattern is only for spider section. Okay? Rest of the hat has to be all knit. Please remember that. I'm not going to tell you this again. Okay? And let's move on to row number 2. The knitting part is so easy. Okay? So purl 11. Okay? Which is quite straightforward. Actually, in this row, easy. Purl 11, knit 1, purl 5. This is the, the orange marker section. Okay? There we go. 11 and knit 1 just outside of the marker. And then purl 5. Then knit 1 and purl 5. Purl 11. So again, left side of the marker, orange marker, and right side of the marker is actually same. You know what I'm saying? Because, the right side of the leg and left side of the leg, same. So, this is the reason why. However, some point it's a little bit awkward. But anyway, I'll tell you later. Okay? So, row number 3. Purl 11 and KBL. KBL means knit back loop. That's it. Okay? Just for the little accent. So you know which stitch has to be KBL, right? Right before, right here. The marker, just knit back loop. That's it. And then purl 5, and after the marker, orange marker, KBL once, and then purl 11. Very straightforward. So after this, I'll show you only for, oh, I'm sorry, this is the KBL, right? only for a new technique. So just follow my written pattern. And I meet you on row number 7. All right? And here comes row number 7. Purl 4 to start. And then KBL. Knit back loop. Then purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then T2B, which is twist to back. With the cable needle, pick up 1 stitch and put the cable needle back, then knit 1, okay? And then purl on the cable stitch. I'll explain later, so don't worry, okay? Purl stitch from the cable needle. I didn't actually complete, so purl. There we go. And then purl 5 in orange marker, 5 stitches. And right after the marker, I have to do T2F, which is twist to front. So pick up 1 stitch out front, then purl first and knit from the cable this time. And then purl 5, KBL, and purl 4. And after this, I will show you T2B and T2F again. So don't worry about it. If you never done twist to back and front, you probably get confused. So don't worry about it. Okay, so here comes T2B and T2F again. All right. So what is really T2B and T2F? Usually C for F, C for B, something like C, right? You use C. C means on it. T means twist, involve with purl. Okay, if the purl involve, okay, always the needle behind. You have to make purl. Purl take a place at the back needle with back needle. So pick up 1. This is T2B, right? And B means back. So you have to put the cable needle back, which means which one is the back needle? Cable needle, of course. You just put the cable needle back. So knit from the left needle, which is front needle, and then purl with back needle, which is cable needle. This is T2B, okay? Remember, purl on the behind needle. So now T2F, pick 1, same, but out front this time. So which one is the back? The left needle is now located at the back. So purl first this time. And then come back to cable needle, then knit front cable needle. That's all. That's all you have to remember. If it's purl involved with the cable knitting, start with T. Twist means, you have to make purl with the needle behind. Okay, and back needle usually right shifting, front cable needle usually left leaning. Okay, that's how you have to remember. Super easy. So now I am going to jump on row 14. Okay, I just want to show you the cluster 3 right in the center of orange marker. Okay, so I did, purl to knit 1 and all that. There we go. And here comes, and last purl, and 1, 2, 3. Next 3, cluster 3. Okay, yarn back, slip next 3. This is cluster 3, okay? And yarn front. Now transfer those slip stitch back onto left. Okay? Then yarn back, then knit. Okay? Knit, not the purl. There you go. This is it. This is cluster 3. Then purl 5 and knit 1 and, finish this row. That's about it. Okay, cluster 3. That 3 you have to knit. Remember that. Okay? Okay, so that's the bottom of the spider body. Okay, so this row, I just want to show you the make one right and make one left. Right top of the cluster 3. Okay, this is row number 15. So I'm making purl right now and slide the marker and purl 5. That's the last purl. And right on top of the cluster 3. So the first cluster 3 stitch, knit 1. And then make 1 right. It's a little bit tricky, but pick up the running thread. It's tight, but pick up the running thread and hook onto left needle, then running thread shifting right side, right? Right shift. That's make 1 right position and knit front loop. This is a little bit tight. So take your time. I increased 1 stitch just now. Okay, there you go. Make 1 right. And then knit next one. After that, make 1 left. Again, picking up the running thread, hook onto left needle and running thread, make sure shifting left. Okay, and this one you have to knit back loop, straight in and back loop. Make 1 left. That's it. Okay, and everything else is all good. And next, well, row number 16, the new method is yarn over. You already know how to do, but I will show you anyway. And now in between orange marker, I'm adding more stitch count. Okay, so don't worry about it. Here comes row number 16. Just focus on the midsection, orange marker, and right in the midsection, I'm gonna use the yarn over technique. Okay, so purl, purl. There you go. And slide the marker and last purl. And here comes knit 2. And then with some bracket, knit 1 and yarn over right here. That's the center stitch. Okay? You just have to knit. Okay? But knit, but do not drop off the stitch. Okay? That's the midsection. Yarn over and then one more knit. So you increase 2 stitch. You know, because in the center, 1 stitch, yarn over and knit one more. So you create 2 stitch. And then rest of them are same. Okay, that's about it for this row. Just make sure the width bracket is in one center stitch. Okay, so next, row 17. Okay, this row, it's a little bit, confusing. And make one right and make one left kicks in. So let's do that. I did second T to F. So purl 4 to start. And slide the marker and one more. Now make one right. Okay, so pick up the, running thread, shift in right, and knit. No, I have to put my yarn back, so I gotta do it again. There you go. Make one right. Then knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Then KBL. That's the mid stitch. I just want to make sure. So KBL means knit back loop. So you just have to knit back loop. If it's tough, you can do knit. It doesn't really matter, but KBL. And then knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Then make one left. Okay? Then purl 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just finish this row. All right? Around these rows, there's increasing and decreasing kicks in. So the orange marker doesn't really help. So you can remove it if you want, but I'm gonna keep them anyway. All right? So row number 23. I just want to show you SSK and knit 2 together. Okay, so this is T to F just before the marker. There you go. And knit the cable because, the cable needle is out front. And slide the marker and purl 1. After the purl 1, SSK. Okay, slip, slip, knit. Put the needle back and then knit. Decrease 1 there. Okay, and then knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then knit 2 together. Next 2 stitch, knit 2 together. That's it. And next row will be row number 25. There you go. I just did first 9 stitch, which is purl 9 and T2F twice. Okay. So the first one easy, right? The pick one out front and the behind the needle always purl and then coming back to cable, and this is knit. And one more knit 2F. However, there you go. Because of the, the marker, it's kind of, insane. So you can remove it or you can, um, change the location. It's really up to you. I kept the marker for just in case. But, ended up I gotta move, everywhere. So you don't really need to. And I just did SSK and then knit 3, 2, 3 and knit 2 together and then T2B twice. And again, it's really up to you whether you remove the marker or not. Okay? There you go. Again, I kept it. I wasn't quite sure. This was my first, attempt for the spider hat. So, I kept the marker until the end. And make sure, how many stitch left in between. And here comes row number 26. Right here, I just want to show you about the cluster 5. It's pretty much same as cluster 3. Just the difference is, how many stitch you have to transfer. That's it. Okay, so this is T2F. I had to move the, marker again and purl with left needle because it's behind, right? I'm thinking I just want to make sure. There you go. I remove it for somehow. And then knit. There you go. And then I'm gonna move the marker back on. Again, you don't have to if you don't want. And knit 1, right? And cluster 5, next 5 stitch. Okay? Keep the yarn back and then transfer 5 stitch, slip 5 stitch, and then the yarn front now, and then transfer the skip 5 stitch back onto the left, right? And you have to move working yarn to the back again, so knitting position, right? There you go. Don't pull too hard and don't just leave it too loosely, okay? And knit those 5 stitch. That's cluster 5. Then knit 1, and again I'm obsessing with that marker, so put the orange marker back, then T2B, put the cable needle back, so knit front needle, which is left needle, and then purl on the cable. There you go. That's cluster 5. That's the mid body of spider. Okay, and let's move on to next row, which is row 29. Now, C2B and C2F. And as you can see, the only 3 stitch in between orange marker. And I just did the, purl 12, and I want to do C2B, which is only knitting. And everything is same. Put the cable back and knit from left and come back to cable needle and then knit. Okay? Knit. There you go. So please don't get mixed up. Okay? This is C2B to B and C to F. No purl involved. Okay, and please don't think, oh, maybe this is the misprint. No, it's not misprint. Okay, this is only knitting cable. There we go. This is C to F. And then purl 12. All right. Okay, so row number 33. I don't really need to tell you this, but I did anyway. So purl 1, then slide the marker. There's only 3 stitch left in the marker, and knit 1, yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, knit. So now I have 5 stitches in between orange marker. That's all I wanted to tell you. That's it. Go back to square one now. And row number 35, again, I just did almost halfway, and purl 1, then knit 1, then the orange marker 5 stitch, which is pass SSK, knit 3 together over. So slip, slip, knit, okay, pass the slip, slip, knit, knit 3 stitch together over. Okay, so there's only 2 stitch now, and that slip, slip, stitch, knit over. So there's only 1 stitch left. There you go. And I believe this is end of new technique. So please finish until row 51, and then let's start decreasing. There you go. I just finished row number 51, and then right on the 51 rows, I add markers. I decide I put the marker every pretty much 14 stitch. However, within the spider section, we have 29 stitches, right? So in the center of 1 stitch, okay, I avoid that, and then 14 stitch, 1 stitch, and 14 stitch. And everything else, 14 stitch, but I couldn't divide by totally 14 because I have 100 stitch. So the last batch, I have 15 stitches, but it's okay. That's close enough. Okay, so if you do exactly same stitch count, please divide as follows. Okay, and it's simple. Purl decreasing, okay, purl 1 to start after the begin marker, and slip, slip, purl. So slip knitwise, and then put the needle back in and right needle out, then kind of, from behind, back loop, purl 1. That's slip, slip, purl. And purl until last 3 stitch before the marker, and purl 2 together, and then purl 1. That's it. So almost there. Okay, there we go. Purl 2 together, and then purl 1. And the center stitch, just forget it, just purl 1, and then again purl 1, and slip, slip, purl, slip knitwise, and then there you go, put the needle and right needle back and from back. There you go. And coming out front and then purl 1 there. So you decrease 1 there. Go. It's hard. Take your time. You know, it's really hard for me because it's underneath of my camera, but usually it's not that hard. Okay, and purl until last 3 stitch and purl 2 together and purl 1. Super easy. This is purl section, and if it's knit section, pretty much same. Just you can follow my written instruction, but I'll show you anyway. Okay, and everything else is all knit section, right? So exactly same way. Okay, pass the marker and knit 1 and knit 2 together and knit until last 3 stitch before the marker, and you do SSK and knit 1. You already know how to do knit 2 together and SSK, and then pass the next marker and do the same thing. All right, this is row number 1, decreasing row number 1, right? And decreasing row number 2, you just purl over purl stitch and knit over knit stitch. You don't have to decrease. Okay, if you decrease every row, that's too quick to decrease. And repeat row number 1 and row number 2 until 4, 5 stitches left in between markers. And when you pull like that, you can close it, right? So don't decrease every stitch. It's gonna be very pointy on top. So if it's 4 stitch left in between markers, that's actually fine. And then cut the end yarn, and then with the tapestry needle, just transfer, picking up, and remove the marker all the way around, and just close the top. That's pretty much it. Okay. And if you think if still too much stitches left because you start with more stitch, go ahead. You can actually do a little bit more decreasing. It's really up to you. See, that's easy to close, right? And then just finish the the weave the ends off, and ended up you should finish inside of the heart, obviously, and make sure it's secure. Okay, I came back out front and then going back just to make sure. Sometimes the people use the button to put it there, so it's really tight. There you go. That's done. Okay, beautiful. I like the color too, but you can use red, just like a Spider-Man, or orange. You can use 2 different color, bottom and top. It's really up to you. I put the tag, so looks a little bit more professional. There you go. This is the request from my husband using the black. Again, the length, total length from the bottom is, that's actually, sorry, there you go, 9.5, about 10, So, well, this is my, one of my favorite hat, same height. So if you don't know how height you want the total, grab the one you like and then measure it. Okay. So that's about it If you have any question, just leave the comment below. I try to answer you as much as possible. Okay? Thank you for watching and enjoy knitting. Bye for now.